Thank you once again, and thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm coming up with an update just for us to kind of open our mind and give us some insight into what is going on in the stock market. If we look at the stock market right now, we can tell that it's kind of, is having a pullback. And I don't want that to scare us. Of course, we are doing it for a long time anyway, but at the same time, it makes you jittery when you see your portfolio coming down, and you kind of panic. But don't be panic. Don't panic. You got to understand what the stock market is saying. You have to understand what the message that is passing across, and we have to understand the history. So this is why I'm bringing it to us, for us not to panic, and as a matter of fact, for us to be able to see it as good thing. Now we are having time to buy time. We are having something that helps us to buy time in order for us to actually increase our portfolio, to actually increase our position. This is the way I'm looking at it. This is the way, I perceive it. This is the way I'm taking it. That I'm happy because it's coming down and it's allowing me to actually increase my position. I just think I have to kind of open our insight into that, and for us to perceive it and to look at it that way. Now, I cannot tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and the way I perceive things. That is all I'm trying to do. In the stock market, you always kind of have a pullback. From time to time, it's always good to have a pullback. When the stock market kept running and running and running, and the index goes into greed or very greed, is dangerous. It will have a massive drop. But up and pull back a little bit. This is not a stock market crashing. The stock market is not crashing. It's just having a pullback. And I want us to see it that way, as opportunity for us to increase our position. Now, let's look at this. Why is it having a pullback? Why are we having a pullback? There are various things that usually cause that. But at this time, I'm sure we've all have heard the fight between the Israelis, the Israel and Iran, and that right there kind of create tension. It creates tension in the world. That if care is not taken, if it goes into a full blown war or fight, it's going to affect the world economy. So it kind of make people kind of panic a little bit. So the market pulls back, and also the big tiger or lion that we've been fighting, that the Fed has been fighting, is called inflation. So inflation also is adding to it. It's not coming down as is expected this year. It's not coming down as expected this year. So the Fed is not really putting out too much of encouraging information about when they are going to cut rates, and that also is adding into the pullback of the market. And also if you look at the economy itself, it's usually policies are made through the government. And if you look at this year we are having an election. There's an election coming this year. So all those three issues kind of doesn't guarantee what the future might look like. It's kind of not really clear, kind of cloudy a little bit. And that is what I believe. That's one of part of the reason why the market seems to be pulling back right now. But the way you perceive things is the way you react to things. So I perceive it as an opportunity for me to be able to increase my position. As a matter of fact, it makes me, it's hard to say, but it made me kind of happy. A little bit, kind of happy, because now I have something that is helping me to buy time in order for me to acquire more, to increase my position. So those are the events that seems to be going on. Now, let me even say this. So at this time, some people they love to swing trade. They love to trade. Okay, trading might not be the most terrible thing, but it is very difficult for people like us that don't have the time to actually sit and focus on the trading and do it 100%, or do it, if you're doing it 30%, you're taking a chance, because 92% of those that trade, they lose money. That day trade, they lose money. But you can swing trade. So at this time, people are doing that. I don't, unless if you know what you're doing, you can do it, but it's not really encouraging now. I'm even thinking like, some people, they never look at the fundamental. They never look at the chart. All they focus on is the news. They look at the news. They look at the history and the policies. Those three things help them to swing trade or to day trade. Those three things, if they are good at it, it helps them to swing trade or to day trade. Look at the news, they look at the policies, and they look at the history. History of the company or the history of the stock market. What is going on? That's how they do the day trade. So if you something that you think you can do, which I'm not encouraging it unless you really know what you are doing. Maybe down the road, maybe we might be able to kind of try something, later on, maybe with your $100, $500 or something, down the road. But right now, let me just show us this. This is one of the information that the Fed just pushed out. So if you look at it, Fed Chair Powell says there has been a lack of further progress this year on inflation. That's what I was talking about the inflation. That it says, there's nothing. It's not the inflation is not coming down fast enough as expected. So that is why he said, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said the U.S. economy has not seen inflation come back to the central bank's goal, pointing to the further unlikelihood that interest rate cuts are in the offing anytime soon. So, which means the way they're looking at it, they don't think they will be able to cut the interest rate soon, and that is why the stock market seems to be going down. Let's look at the stock market actually. If you look at in the last 1 month, the stock market has been, the S&P 500 is 3.23% down. Dow Jones is 3.41% down, and Nasdaq is 3.83% down. So they all, kind of come down. It's not bad. Like I've said, I believe it's just a pullback, and things will turn around. And when stuff like this happen, it's temporary, especially if the clash and the fight between Iran and Israel is contained. If it's not, blown out, everything's gonna come back. It's gonna have like a V-shape, recovery. So it's gonna be temporary. Maybe 2 months. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we see it come back. If nothing major, happen. And that is how I perceive it. If this is your first time of watching one of our videos, first time of joining us, I would like you to hit like right now. And also, I'd like you to share this video and to comment on this video. I would like you to subscribe to this channel. This is where we have identified some sectors of EV and cannabis and crypto as a base, as a source, as a sector that will help us to build generational wealth. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being a part of the family. Until I see you in the next video, have a wonderful day.